It is another week, and it is Breaking Down Security. I'm Brian Brake. Ms. Berlin is with me.
Hello.
And Mr. Betcher is somewhere. I don't know.
He's somewhere near you.
He was, actually. I saw him a couple days ago.
Look behind you.
Nope, that's not him. It was the Yeti. Yeah, no, his whole family came up here and hung out in a one of the landmarks that we have here, local near my house called the Snoqualmie Falls. And, got to see him for a couple hours. We got to hang out and go do some hiking. We did a quick, half-mile hike down to the lower observation deck there at Snoqualmie Falls. It was really nice.
Very cool.
Yep, I know. One day you can come up here to the Pacific Northwest and hang out
I need to now that I know several people that live there.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, lots of people. Yeah. We'll have to have a special SeaSec East whenever you come up.
Yes.
Yep. All right. So, what have you been doing in the last week?
Lots of stuff. I went to ShowMe Con.
Oh yeah. How'd that go?
Yeah, it was really good. It was in St. Louis.
Yeah.
Very, very good conference. It's a little bit more. It's like halfway between a corporate conference and a hacker conference. It's a very, very nice medium.
Wait, okay. So what's a corporate conference? Are you talking like RSA?
Like suit and ties.
Oh, really?
Yeah, suit and ties, RSA type stuff.
Oh.
And but you can't pay to speak there.
Oh, well, that's
like you can be a vendor,
right?
But you still have to qualify just like everybody else.
Okay. Yeah, I've seen that a lot at like conferences where it's like, oh, well, we won't sponsor until we find out if our person's been chosen to speak. How do they handle stuff like that, you think?
I have no idea, but they do a fantastic job with it.
Yeah.
It's a 2-day conference, and I think there's about 900 people there.
Dang, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe I should set my calendar for next year to do that one. Okay, so it's 900 people. Does it feel cramped?
No. Well, the hallways would get a little cramped in between talks.
Yeah. Okay.
The way it's set up, there's like an external hallway. Well, both hallways really are filled with vendors, booths on both sides. Mm-hmm. But what's really nice, they provide all your meals, well, breakfast and lunch.
Right.
And then they have after parties and all that kind of stuff. That's all provided with the ticket.
Nice.
Just everything's really super, super nice quality. It's held at the Ameristar Casino it's like not directly in St. Louis. It's in some other town near St. Louis, but
right. Okay.
Yeah. Perimeter Security is the people that put it on.
Oh, all right.
And this was their 5th year, I think, of doing it.
Wow. Okay.
And they do a super, super good job.
Okay. Yeah.
I was most proud of. They had a retro tech party after the conference ended. I was very proud of my outfit.
I saw that. You needed to put a little tape on your glasses though, to make go over the full.
I had a
route.
cassette player.
Wow. Okay. I don't have one of those anymore. I used to have.
I have a cassette player now that works. I didn't used to have one, but I hurried and ordered it on Amazon before I went.
Okay, and you had a calculator watch too, didn't you?
A Casio calculator watch.
God, that brings me
I had
back.
Like an original MTV T-shirt.
Nice.
And those like the little Dixie cups, the design that were on the first Dixie cups. It was like teal and purple splatters.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I had those. Those were my pants.
Oh wow. Oh
yeah.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Yeah. So I tried to go all out.
Yeah. It sounds like it. Did they have prizes for the winners or something?
No.
Oh, okay.
I just like dressing up because I can't outdo the first time I went there. That's when I bought my inflatable Jabba the Hutt costume for their Star Wars party.
Oh, okay.
And I can't outdo that.
Right.
There's no way.
Okay. Is T-Rex Mama going to ever ride again? Is it
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, that's
good. And you gave a keynote with.
I should bring it to Derby.
Oh. Well, will it fit behind the table?
Maybe. Should I wear it at the table?
Well, it would probably get a little warm. I don't know what the.
I can wear it for a very short amount of time.
Yeah. Yeah. I would definitely think about it. We have some other things we're going to be probably giving away at that time too, but maybe you can, oh, she's like, yes, she's stroking her chin if she had an imaginary beard, So you gave a keynote with our book club and moderator of our Slack, Dave Sybuck, right?
I did.
Right.
Yeah, he did very well. I'm not sure how great I did, but
well, obviously you did excellently.
It was very well received.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Yeah, we did it. It was the premise was the title was You'll Understand When You're Older.
Right.
So the premise was it's all of the sayings and truisms and idioms and everything you grew up with, whether you heard it from your mom or your grandma or your teacher or whatever, and distinguishing between all of those and how it affects our communication now.
Very nice.
And that kind of stuff. So it wasn't a technical talk, but it was hopefully informative and funny enough.
Yeah, ironically, we're gonna. I'd like to seg into this, but it's like U.S. people. We speak with a lot of idioms. We speak with a lot of things that only Americans would get, and when you're dealing with other cultures, especially with clients and customers that aren't necessarily from the U.S., they don't really catch the idioms. So it's like
I get this talking to Lee all the time.
Really? Does he?
He has the Canadian idioms and sayings, and the ones that are from the UK.
Right.
And like half of the stuff that comes out of his mouth, I don't understand. But
yeah. So I mean,
shit. I keep forgetting he listens.
Oh. That's okay. It's not like you guys have some kind of partnership or anything that keeps you guys connected at the hip or anything.
Right.
So, when you're dealing with other countries, or people that, English is their second language and they're, very, not very good or proficient with the English language, you want to try to keep the idioms out, I don't know. What's a good idiom?
I guess one that's pretty confusing is give me a second.
Okay. Exact. Wow. I didn't even think of that one.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because depending on how your language is structured, it makes absolutely no sense.
Right. Yeah. So, I mean, that would be something you would want to think about, or, especially when you're dealing with very technical, discussions or arguments or conversations. You want to keep it as even keel as possible because, I mean...
A lot of times we explain technical stuff in idioms, though.
Oh, right. Or like when do other cultures speak in like metaphor? Like, it's just like a car, and everybody tries to break things down to the simplest idea, which is like, you take this car, and it's just like a firewall because you've got the radiator and it's in the front, and people are like, what?
Yeah. I mean, we actually had, this was David's slide, but he actually in several other languages used some of the idioms or metaphors or whatever that other languages use. Oh yeah. I'd love to. And it doesn't translate well into English. Right. It has an English equivalent once you know what the meaning is supposed to be. Oh, yeah, that's like I was doing Duolingo and I was trying to learn a little bit of French, en français, and they had the idioms section, and it was like, don't count your chickens before they hatched. But when you translate the words in French to English, you're like, well, why am I wanting to know about, your car in the wrong lane or something? And it was like, and I'm like... and the thing was, it was like, don't count your chickens before they hatch, didn't match anything on the line there. And I was like, you would, but the idea was they wanted you to understand that phrase meant the equivalent of don't count your chickens before they hatch. Okay. Yeah. So that was, it's very interesting, especially if you're dealing with clients like that stuff from other countries or whatever. So, okay. So, one thing I forgot to mention last week, I spoke at Deep East Texas Security, and I'd like to thank Tim for, having me. I did kind of a beta, or beta, if you're a non-US American, see, that was an idiom right there, non-US American. Of my community building talk that I'm going to be giving at Bsides Springfield, and I just wanted to. That's the keynote, right? Well, I don't know if it's a keynote. I just happen to be the first speaker of the day.
So I'm going to say...
Is there any other talks going on at the same time?
No.
Then yeah, you're the keynote.
Oh, crap. Oh, crap.
Even if they don't call you that, that's what you are.
Man.
Or you can call it a plenary, I think is what it's called. Talk.
Plenary. Watch out. One of those
Plenary?
is a body part, and one of them is you know... you look it up, but so yeah, I'm reworking some of it because I appreciate him allowing me to give that talk so that I could figure out what I didn't do right or what I could improve on. So,
Did you watch yourself yet?
Did I what myself?
Watch
Myself. Oh, I can watch myself right now. I'm on the webcam.
Give the talk.
Oh no, they didn't record it, thankfully.
Oh, I can't watch myself talk.
My biggest issue is I forget to breathe. So I was actually giving the talk.
So you're going blue on stage?
I was sitting here talking, and I'm like, all of a sudden I forget, my chest is not, going in and out. And
my.
It was getting real tight, and I could feel feel the sweating and everything. So I've got to remember to slow down, breathe, maybe.
You can put like speaker notes in, breathe here.
Stop, breathe for a second.
Take a
drink. Yeah. Dry mouth. Yes. Okay. Oh, like decision trees.
Yes.
At this point, do you have dry mouth? Yes. You might want to drink, stupid. Yeah, that works out.
Put in there that you need to take a break for applause.
Right. Oh, you're
or
assuming
laughter. Wait for laughter.
Okay. Polite pause for laughter.
Yes. Right. And nothing.
Crickets. Cricket.
That was the plus of speaking with David, because even if nobody in the audience laughed, we could at least laugh at each other's jokes on stage.
Okay. Yeah. I guess you're bouncing that energy off one another. Yeah.
Right.
So you okay, so let's get to the show. Obviously, we do have a topic or two. Mr. Betcher is not here this week, unfortunately. He is on vacation. But so something Ms. Berlin sprung on me, and it actually segs into something I found this week, which will actually help you out. NIST has some new guidelines, additional new guidelines for password policy.
Whether you want to listen to them or not is your choice.
Right. So here's my question. Why don't compliance bodies like PCI listen to them? Or it takes, I can't imagine it takes them that long to actually integrate these kinds of things. This is a, fairly, decent guideline. I mean, they seem to actually care about, making it proper for the government. PCI, HIPAA, these things could actually implement this stuff in their next releases, and they don't seem to.
I would like to talk to somebody on their boards. That would be really interesting.
That would be awesome. If you know somebody on the PCI board that doesn't work for a major credit card company, I'd love to have them on the show.
There?
Well,
isn't that a requirement? Don't you have to work for the major credit card company to be on their board?
Yeah, you might be right. Yeah.
But even if you do and you can come on, we'll give you a voice changer and everything.
Yeah. Well, we'll block your image. Nobody will have to see it. And oh wait, it's a podcast. So they actually suggested a few changes, and please feel free to run through a couple of those, Ms. Berlin.
Okay. Let's see here. Did I leave it open? No, I didn't leave it open.
It's from passwordping.com. In case,
which I mean, they are trying to sell a service, just to put that out there.
Right. Yeah. So
they pick their stuff at the bottom.
Yeah.
So it says they're in the process of finalizing it, which is it's NIST 863.3 digital identity guidelines.
Right.
So there's a new framework, and it recommends among other things. The first one is to remove periodic password change requirements.
Okay. Which I think is the big one, right?
Shocks a lot of people.
Right.
Yeah.
And yep. So the idea was it's like, every 90 days you change your passwords, or, I've seen questionnaires where the customers have asked, do you change your passwords periodically? And I mean, what do you tell people? No, we don't, because we follow NIST guidelines, and they say no to not do it. And you're still going to have companies who are like, well, we'd like you to do that. Well, it's not good practice. Why?
Right.
We want our third parties to change passwords. So that's my problem with this whole thing. It's like, it's going to be very slow in rolling out. And unfortunately, we've spent how many years trying to get people to do upper lower number special, 8 characters, minimum. We've hammered this into companies, and now we're like, oh, no, you need to do something better. And it's taking forever for them to do anything.
So we touched on this a little bit. Tim D Block had a panel at ShowMeCon too, right? And there was like 6 of us on stage, I think.
Right.
And it wasn't. I needed to mention that prior because what I'm going to mention wasn't my idea, and I didn't want to steal it as my own.
Okay.
But somebody on the panel had said that instead of preaching like better complexity passwords or changing your passwords or whatever like that, they've started to teach about password managers instead.
Right.
At that point, it's way better because it's just randomly generated passwords and could be different everywhere.
That's true. So, what was it? Remove periodic password change requirements. So no more 90 days. The whole thing is, the idea is you don't want to change passwords too frequently, but that means the passwords need to be long enough so that they're not crackable within a decent amount of time. Right?
Yeah, but then the next one, it says drop the algorithmic complexity song and dance.
Okay.
So like no arbitrary password complexity requirements, needing uppercase, lowercase symbols, numbers. Says like frequent password changes, it's been shown repeatedly that these types of restrictions often result in worse passwords.
Well, yeah, because I mean, if you follow anything like John the Ripper or whatever, or if you know the complexity requirements from a company, they say, oh, you must have, and then some of them get really stupid, like you can't have consecutive, numbers, or you can't, all that does is make it much easier for an attacker to create a proper regular expression that he can use against your systems to, take an 8-character password and, out of like 3 million possible password combinations, if you know that, you can't have 2 numbers in a row. So he knows, okay, I can set this up so that if it's got 2 numbers in a row, that's not a valid password and it won't be accepted by the system. So you can actually take, a regex with 3 million possible combinations and knock it down to, say, 1.5 million, which, I'm just throwing out numbers, but obviously if it's 80,
somebody's going to get very angry at you when they've done the math and that's incorrect.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Super incorrect. So, plus, a lot of operating systems now have extended keyboard functions. They have Unicode characters. Some of the newer,
I try and use Unicode in my password whenever possible.
You know what? KeyPass, which I use for my work password locker, has Unicode characters in it. You can put like emojis and shit and stuff in it. And yeah, so I mean that adds way more complexity than just a typical, upper lower number special kind of deal. So the problem is you can't type those in. How do you type in an emoji character or something in a typical keyboard? I mean, if you're
I know how to do it on my Mac.
Yeah, you know how to do it on your Mac?
Yeah.
Oh, how do you do it on your Mac?
Control Command Space.
Control Command Space. Do I want to do that?
When you're on the podcast? Maybe not.
Control Command Space. Oh, hey, look at that. Oh, that's pretty awesome. Look at that. I just put a car emoji in my URL.
Yeah.
I probably just broke the internet. Let me see if I can break the internet. Oncoming automobile
Zoom.
Emoji. Wow.
And Zoom just crashed.
Oh, womp womp. File a bug report. Bug bounty. Wow, you can actually search for emojis on Google if you would in Control Command Space. Yeah. Wow. Okay, today I learned. Right on.
Yeah. You're welcome, Internet.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, so yeah, that... and then they said require screening of passwords against lists of commonly used or compromised passwords. That's pretty cool.
Which there's only one service that I know of that does that.
Yeah, that would be Troy Hunt.
Yeah.
Troy Hunt, he has his Pwned Passwords.
You can't think of any other service that does that unless they've collected their own password dumps, right?
Yeah, I would imagine you could do it yourself, if you get on the dark webs. I say the dark web with quotey fingers. Or, you
Like
go
Facebook.
to Pastebin, or you pull down the LinkedIn, chat, the LinkedIn vulnerability, password dumps, or, all of those. You can make your own. If you wanted to run rainbow tables, especially if you know that you're, using crap encryption algorithms like, or, hashing algorithms that aren't salted like MD5, you can easily get MD5 rainbow tables for that stuff and crack them. Let me see. So that kind of segs into the last bit there about requiring screening of new passwords against common lists. There was a tweet today, which came out 11 June 2018, from Oslo, Norway. I don't know why Troy Hunt's in Oslo, Norway, but he mentions that 1Password has integrated Pwned Passwords right into the desktop version. So if your organization uses 1Password, you can always update people to 7.1, and it will, what I believe it does is it checks, oh wait, there's a screenshot here. It'll actually show you if your logins have been compromised or if vulnerable passwords are out there. So, if you're using winter 2018, then you probably should, choke yourself or change your password. But yeah, that's a fairly cool little integration there. And I think I heard this one on Risky Business where he talked about this was going to be put in an upcoming version of 1Password. They're using one of the what is that? Cloudflare or something is running the infrastructure for that, because you've got to run so many thousands or so many millions of lookups and stuff. So they're handling all the front end lookup bits. So it's really awesome.
So going back to the PCI DSS stuff, so they have a PCI SSC executive committee, which seems to be one person from each major credit card brand.
That's not surprising. Okay.
Right. But then they also have a board of advisors, which are people from everywhere. Like there's a chick on here from Disney.
You mean a lady from Disney?
Sorry, lady. She does look like a lady. Like I prefer not to be called a lady because I don't feel like a lady, but she looks like one. Right. So I guess we could.
It's like that Aerosmith song, Dude Looks Like a Lady or whatever.
She doesn't look like a dude either.
All right. Yeah. For the longest time, I always thought it was Do the Funky Lady. And I did.
Oh.
Because it made more sense. I was like, why is he saying dude looks like a lady? So there's an advisory board of security folk.
What's that?
There's an advisory board of security folk or people from...
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly if they're security or not, or if they're just... I don't know what they do. They're just listed and where they work.
I hope it's not like
Cisco, the one lady works for CIS, which makes sense.
Okay.
Part of Amazon, Citigroup.
Right.
Lots of other merchant and places.
Seems like industry verticals. You've got retailers, you've got financials, you've got...
Ingenico, which are the ones that
they do
create
2FA.
The payment card processing things.
Okay.
A lot of... all of them make sense.
Right. And they're all ancillary to, the credit card industry. So they all have something to do with credit cards. So
I wonder if we could get any of these people. I don't know any of them, though. So
well, your mission, should you choose to accept it,
is find these people.
It's to hit them
that
up
could be creepy. I could find them, but I don't know if they'd come on the podcast.
Run a little OSINT and find out if they can come on, and it may be like the people who do TLS or something. They're just regular dudes and they work for companies and they're on the steering committee.
Definitely possible.
Yeah, cool. All right. So one last thing, we're just doing a little bit of news bits here, but another thing I found interesting today when I was poking around the internets, because I don't have a lot of time anymore like I used to. When I worked at home, I had almost 2 hours extra a day where I could, thumb through the news or thumb through tweets. But one that I found today was from June 6th from the Irish Examiner. And actually, I got this through the IAPP website, which is International Association of Privacy Professionals. 1,300 GDPR queries have come in since 25 May, where, they've 1,300, organizations or people have called into the Irish Data Protection Commission about GDPR, possible 60 breaches of personal data with the watchdog. And
So for the first 6 days it was active, they got 700 telephone calls and over 650 emails to its information service.
Right. And so my whole thing is,
crazy.
Okay, it's great that they're taking these requests and they're taking these calls and such, but they said so far there are 10 cases in the assessment stage which fall under GDPR. So they said the rest of the complaints which deal with cases before May 25th fall under previous Irish data protection laws. So out of the 1,500 or so, or 1,300 or so, only 10 are in the assessment stage. So my problem is, what is the process for assessing these things? If they keep continuing to get that kind of number of, complaints or requests for, them to investigate these things, it's going to clog up that process. So they need to, if they're not figuring out how to make it more efficient, they're going to end up with thousands of assessments that are going to just bog down. It's going to take forever for those to go through either court cases or finally to get to, to litigation or to where you can start fining people. So I'm looking forward to understanding the audit process. And I'm looking forward to seeing what happens with other EU data organization authorities when they're dealing with this. They said they logged around 60 notifications to date, which was as of June 6th. So they're still getting more, but the vast majority in the first 6 days were they don't care about because it happened before GDPR was put into place, which is, I guess, kind of good for the other 1,200 or so organizations that were breached, apparently. So, it's kind of rough. I mean, I can't imagine. This is, I don't know. It just seems like there's going to be a lot of unhappy people working at that company or that organization because it's like they're going to be expected to get, to see some kind of output or to, run through that efficiently or effectively. And how do you do that? Do you go out to each company? Do you run audits? I mean, you can't just, I could call them up and go, my local, organization does, how many are going to be crank calls? How many are they going to have to follow up on and have, I could definitely see fake, Go ahead.
I would really hope they just had thought of all of that beforehand.
I don't know. It could be the, the data privacy version of Ding Dong Ditch. Hey, Tesla is leaking all of my information on the internets. Click. And it's like, oh, great. Now we've got to log this and go and investigate. Right. Yeah. And now that's going to cause businesses to have to spend money to refute the, the negative or to prove the negative. I'm wondering how much involved assessment is required by companies. Do they just call up and go, "Oh, we've been received reports that you've breached data." Okay, no, we didn't. Okay, well, we'd like to come in and look at it. When can we help you? 3 years from now, that kind of stuff. I need to talk to Miss Wendy, who I work with, Miss Wendy Knox Everett, and find out about, some of the stuff with regard to this. So, because this could be a nightmare for some companies if they're just, constantly being hammered on, like Microsoft or, the Googles of the world. Hey, Google's got my information. I don't think they're doing anything good with it. Now they have to keep talking to GDPR officials to, show that they're actually acting in good faith. So, I don't know. So do we have anything else?
No, that's all I can think of.
Okay. My cat's in here. She just jumped in the box. My trap worked. I swear, a cardboard box is better than a Pokeball. I'm telling you. Catches cats. There she is.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, got in there.
My cat doesn't like boxes, but he's too fat to jump into anything.
Oh, really? Yeah, Mama Kitty, if there's an empty box, she's in it. So, I'm sorry you all can't see. You just have to use your imagination. So, so before we go, you're at Bsides Cleveland in a couple weeks?
Yeah. I'm keynoting there. And then I'm speaking at Area 41 at the end of this week.
Oh, and that's in a little country called Switzerland.
It is.
I love that place. I went to Geneva. Geneva's awesome.
Never been there, and I'm super excited.
Oh man.
I'm gonna be ziplining to the Alps on Thursday.
Gonna wear your lederhosen? Oh wait.
Yeah, of course. And I'll bring my yodelers. I don't know.
Yodelers. I don't think it works like that.
No? Okay.
No. Ricola. There you go. Yeah.
It's the big horn thing that they...
Oh. Yeah, I don't know what that thing is. It reminds me of like a didgeridoo in Australia, but it ain't like that.
Yeah, but it's a giant mountain horn.
Giant mountain horn, right. Okay.
We'll just go with that.
Right.
Because I don't feel like Googling it right now.
Oh, okay. All right. So, one last thing before we go. SeaSec East was last Wednesday. Standing room only. So if you're in the Seattle area, it was a fantastic discussion. We had Crispin Cowan, who is my carpool buddy going to work because he works at the same company I do now. He gave a talk about how to run Windows 10 as a standard user. So, instead of running as local admin like most people normally do, and you don't think there's any other options, and most users are like, oh, no, I need to run as a local user because I need to install software. He went and showed you how to do fast user switching and switch to kind of like how sudo works in Linux. You fast user switch, install whatever it is you need to do, log out, and you have access to everything afterwards. It was a really great conversation. We had 30 or so people who showed up. We had pizza, we had soda. It was good times. So if you're interested in doing some networking and community building with me, I'm the organizer, first Wednesday of every month, you can join us. I think we'll be in Bellevue next month at Lunchbox Lab. So we're just going to kind of do a flash mob kind of thing where everybody shows up. They'll take our money. It's cool. So Lunchbox Lab's a really good burger / eatery in the Bellevue area down off the 405 there. So Seattle has a 405 too. So, all right. Well, I mean, that's all I've got. We'll have Mr. Betcher, I think he's out next week too, but I'm hoping to have an interview with somebody here locally. So I'm going to be poking her on Facebook Messenger and seeing what her availability is like next week. And we can definitely, enjoy some more topics. So Ms. Berlin, I know everybody is excited to see you in Switzerland this weekend. So when do you get back, by the way?
Sunday evening.
Okay, so we'll try recording like Monday or Tuesday or something. I'm sure Mr. Petcher will be back by then too. So
yeah, that works.
Anyway, sorry, it's a little behind the curtain stuff. How would people get a hold of you, or how would they find you if they wanted to talk to you in Zurich? Or
they could come visit me in Zurich. I'm sure there are probably still flights going there.
Right on.
If anybody wants to come hang out.
Excellent.
Or mostly on Twitter at InfoSister, INFOSYSTIR.
Nice. So the podcast is at BrakeSec, BRAKESEC. The official email is bds.podcast@gmail.com. And you can actually DM BrakeSec, or you can email us for an invite to our Slack channel, which is fairly active. We have a lot of people on there who talk about various different things. Something interesting that happened, a gentleman by the name of, I don't even know, his last name is Koopman. Gods, I hope that's right. Apparently he has something to do with Graylog. He's one of the founders of Graylog, but he's been hanging around in our sim and logging channel. Somebody invited him, and Leonard, yeah. Is it Leonard? Because I didn't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
I hung out with him in Indianapolis the other day.
Oh, cool. Okay. So yeah, he's in there. He has a little bit to do with Graylog. A lot of people I know use that. And, our sim and logging channel is very active with regards to sim stuff. So if you're interested in all and hanging out and learning more about how you can make your sim better, not just from if you're using Graylog, but like in general, join us. We have Web App Sec. We have a ton of other channels, reverse engineering and debugging, etc. So join us. Send a DM to BrakeSec, or hit us up on bds.podcast@gmail and ask for an invite. So You can find me at Brian Brake, BryanBrake on Twitter. Mr. Betcher is at BetcherPwned, BoettCherPwned. He's also the co-host of our other podcast with Michael Goff at Breaking Down Incident Response. You can find that in our show notes, information on how to get to that. They run LogMD, and the Windows logging cheat sheets. You can go to malwarearchaeology.com and find out, more information on how to protect your machines or use the malware logging cheat sheets to, get better information from your Windows boxes, which is always good. So, thank you to our Patreon donators. We appreciate you for giving us money to help, spread the word and pay for hosting and stuff. So we appreciate that, and equipment upgrades and things. So it's very much appreciated. And, you can find us everywhere, Google Play Store, Apple Podcasts, and whatever. So there's no place you can't find us. Just do a Google search for, Breaking Down Security Podcast, and you'll find us. So that's it. I'm glad we got this one in the can, and Ms. Berlin, safe travels to you.
Thank you.
And this is it for Breaking Down Security this week. Have a great week, and we will talk to you again soon.
Bye.
Oh, be nice to one another as well, okay?